I don't remember not wanting to be an architect. It was just always there. My mom talked about how when I was 3 years old, the house next door was being built and I'd scam from the carpenters some nails and borrow their hammer. And that's how I entertained myself. I'm Dick Clark, I'm an architect in Austin, Texas. I've been here for 30 years. I'm a modernist, I do contemporary style. We do a lot of residential work, restaurants, bars, boutique hotels, and then we do condominium projects, apartment projects. We do retail, we do stores, we do just about anything. When I got to the University of Texas School of Architecture in 1963, it was a whole new world to me. New people, new places, new everything. There's this whole thing of the Vietnam War, not only being against it, but also being scared to death I was getting drafted into it. And so that helped you, keep your grades up. Applied to graduate schools and got accepted and chose Harvard to do it because I wanted to live in a big East Coast city. And from there I went to the University of Tennessee and taught there for 4 years. The last 2 I was mainly in Nicaragua with the program we had down there after the massive earthquake, and I took a bunch of students and we did volunteer architectural work. One of the easily the most important thing, I think for anybody, but especially for an architect, travel as much as you can. And then travel in as many different ways as you can. Most of what you're going to bring back is probably not what you plan to go see. The most exciting part of being an architect happens in the first nanosecond almost of a project. That first brief moment is when most of the design work is done in your head. Everything is evolving it from that. The second really fun thing is building. Going out to the job site, seeing it built, working with the contractors, talking with people, the client, that's a whole nother dynamic. When I start a new residential project, I like to have the husband and wife write down their ideas about the perfect house and not show them to each other. That's really interesting. And they bring them and we discuss them together, kind of, so they're not compromising towards each other. Because you get these great reactions like, I didn't know that you wanted to do that. I didn't know you wanted this. Because, yeah, I did. Well, you never told me. Yes, I did. Those kinds of things. People bring me sometimes just a single thought. I want to feel like I'm living on the ocean, but I'm living in Austin, Texas. Well, there's a house here that had the sound of the water and then the feeling of openness and glass, and they love living that way. That's what's fun about residential architecture. At the end of the process is say, wow, this really is me. If you're a really good, dedicated architect, your work is a lot of your life. I wouldn't be where I am today if I didn't have a lot of support. The people in my office are extremely talented, and it's my family. But architects, golly, they've affected the world all through the millenniums. So yeah, it's a cool profession. I wouldn't trade it for anything.
He has practiced in Boston, Knoxville, Managua, Aspen, Copenhagen, as well as throughout Texas. His projects include restaurants, resorts, hotels, retail, multifamily housing, golf courses, and over 100 custom homes. Dick Clark has many award-winning restaurants, custom homes, and entertainment venues in Houston, San Antonio, Dallas, and Austin. Dick is well known in Austin and has a reputation for site-specific, creative, and unique projects. Please give us your impression of downtown Austin's changes, what you like, what you don't like, and where you see us going.
When I first came here 30 years ago, you could park any place in Austin. Any place, 8 o'clock on Saturday night, you could park. But then what would you do? You get out of the car and there's no place to go. Hey, I got a parking place. People would pay $100 for that today. And it was like a lot of other cities. It had this potential, theoretically, but nothing was happening. This is 1980. It started kind of get a little inkling about 90, late 80s, 90. Restaurants came back downtown because people would go to restaurants even though all the stores had left. There was no housing downtown at all. And then through the 90s, it started to take off because, restaurants, a lot of my design, they made money. People started coming down. It was a destination thing. So I think most of the world's realizing it's fun to live downtown now. It's fun to walk out your door and have many, many choices, what you can do. So a lot of it's just density. That's what makes it fun. And we don't want to be in New York City. We want to be a little tiny Chicago. If I were to pick something, that'd be my model. And not even Chicago, but a tiny Chicago.
With better weather.
Yeah, with better weather, yeah. Well, except our summers are getting a little rough these days. Anyways, it is happening.
Yeah, I agree with you. What do you enjoy most about your job?
Just going there every day is the best thing.
What do you enjoy least?
Well, there's not much I don't enjoy about it. That's a tough one. There's all those old cliches. When we go for a job and we don't get it, that's not fun. I mean, that's not the best day of your life. But that's a hard. Even that is okay.
It's okay, yeah.
Golly, there's another job tomorrow. There's another one the next day. So you don't again mope and whine and cry. You just charge on forward.
Okay. It's been said, teachers open the door, but you must enter by yourself. It's been said, when the student is ready, the master appears. It's been well known that many successful people at one time worked for you and went on to open their own practice. Tell us what that means to you.
That's one of the greatest parts of my job. My office and my staff are my family. I get not only to practice architecture and do that, but I get to have this involvement with all these incredible people. There's nothing, prouder than that when somebody goes off on their own and is successful, and they become my competitors sometimes. That's not, but that's okay. Okay, well, let's show you. Show me your best, I'll show you mine. Whatever. But they're still my great friends, and I laud them when I hear that they've done something or see something. Who did that house? And they tell me, oh, that's. I can't say so and so because a bunch of them are in here. I don't want to pick anybody out. And I go, really? Cool. That's a great house, and that's somebody that I was associated with. And they brought as much to me as I gave them, or more. They continue. My lucky deal is I get this, continuing new ideas from so many people that have gone through my office in all this period of time. It's fabulous. I'm the luckiest guy.
And you call these people your family, right?
Absolutely. I don't know what they call me, but
I talked to some of your family.
Yeah.
These are comments of former employees.
Uh-oh.
Bon vivant, your voice and personality fill any space. Still excited to design after all these years?
Yeah.
Adventurous? Women? That came up twice.
I'm single.
Caring? Treated me like a son? Great bullshitter.
Quality everybody needs to have in life for success.
Amen.
Yeah, you're one too.
I know.
That, yeah. you got me up here to be the first pigeon. Yeah, so I bet.
When Dick has a full beard, he looks like Ernest Hemingway, not an architect. If you're an architect in Austin
Ernest,
and haven't
right now.
worked for Dick, you know someone who has.
Yeah.
If you've ever been out for drinks or dinner, knowingly or not, you've been to a bar or restaurant designed by Dick. The more Dick drinks, the more he gestures with his fingers and hands. Watch out for his arms.
Guilty as charged.
I know it's like.
I just hit some poor lady back there in the head a minute ago with my elbow. And I apologize, whoever you were. I didn't mean it.
Sit across from Dick at dinner, not beside him. An old hippie, Renaissance man, and the Zen master of bullshit.
Wow, I like that the best, maybe.
And the last one is a great guy. I was lucky to work for him. So bravo.
Bravo back to my family.
Some writers will write the last page of their novel. Mm-hmm. And so they know where it's going to end. When you are beginning a project, do you know how it's going to end, or do you just see the beginning of it?
It's done in your head almost in the first instant to a certain, I mean, you know, there's a kapow that just happens. And after that, you're either evolving it or testing it, but working it out some way or another. Don't fall in love with your first concept, but don't design 20 concepts and compare them against each other too.
Okay. What time of day do you do your best work?
After work, at the bar, on a napkin with a pen.
6:30 or 7, right?
Yeah, well, see, there's no after work. I work, you know, I just work. It's none of it's work. It's okay. The later part of my play day. Mm-hmm. I have conceptualized many projects, sitting around talking to good friends, or you know, like unfortunately, you know, where I took my office downtown for a reason. 18 years ago, because I wanted to be involved in downtown. It was, you know, I just wanted to. Just one of those things I wanted to do. And then we designed all these restaurants and bars around. So, what am I going to do at 6:30 or 7? I'm hungry. I'm thirsty. Why don't I go around the corner to one of the places I know and they know me? And I'm stumped on some design thing that's going on. You know, all design doesn't go like that. You get stumped sometimes. Sure. So sometimes it's best to get out of the office and just go and be alone and chat with somebody and do that. So it evolves from that, but a lot of good stuff happens at that period of time.
Architects are known for their huge egos. Mm-hmm. True?
Yeah, I mean, you really do have to have an ego. You have to believe in yourself to be an architect. The more you do it, the more confidence you gain in yourself, I think, the less you have to express your ego publicly. You're working with a client. That's one of the fun dynamics of architecture versus being a painter, sculptor who works alone all day long. Yeah. Doesn't have to, you know, please or accommodate anybody but themselves until they either can or cannot sell their work, and then that's where the, you know, the shit hits the fan. Excuse me. But we're constantly working the fun dynamics of an architect. You're working with people and solving their problems or whatever, making their life better.
Tell us how your mother influenced your life.
Oh, wow. Well, I've told you, my mom passed this last year at 95 in February. And the most wonderful, lovely woman and person in my life. Always encouraged me, corrected me, always said, if you think it's right, though, you just go for it. I'll support you with whatever you do. And, you know, I had some ups and downs. My life was not always on this straight line, too. And she was always my best friend. She still is. She'll always be my best friend.
Dick's the only grown man I know whose screensaver on his iPhone is his mother.
Oh. You might want to see her.
It's a great picture.
She looks great. I have a picture of her at 93, taking her down to St. Bart. She was fabulous.
Have you done any other types of design work, like furniture design?
Yeah. I love to, especially in residential architecture, design at least one piece of furniture for every house we do. It's just kind of a signature thing to, you know, to end it, and it's another deal. It's just fun, you know, because they have to buy it. You know, I don't have to worry about selling it. You know, they paid me before. You either like it, or you know, you can throw it away, but you paid me for it. It's not in your business, which you know, it's a different world in the furniture business.
That's what Christy Bobby said.
Good old Christy, yeah, I love her. Fabulous.
When was your most discouraging period?
College was pretty weird. Yeah. Everybody else was having so much fun, you know what I knew, and I was up in the lab all 12 hours, 15 hours a day, and my buddies were done, and so I kind of I didn't make as good of grades as I thought I should or I needed to, and I actually switched majors. I went into business school for a while because it seemed like a lot of fun over there back in the 60s. 60s were great. I was here from 63 to 9. You talk about the massive change. I think that was probably as big a change in my life at that period of time. It went from just everything, war, drugs, marijuana being a soft drug, alcohol, beer, again, coming out of high school, that whole deal, conservative world. I lost the point. I was rambling so much. What was the question again?
I don't remember.
Anybody know the question in the audience?
What was your most discouraging period?
Oh, it's discouraging. Oh, yeah. So, that was confusing, discouraging. And, okay, I went back, after I got about halfway, a whole year or so in business school, and, I was just unhappy. I was having a good time, great time. I was a professional student in that period of time because I also didn't want to go into the Army. Didn't want to get drafted. It wasn't a time to not be in, it was a good time to be in school. But I realized that, well, this is not me. And so I went back to architect school, but I've also finished my business degree at the same time.
Cool. Coco Chanel said, "How many cares one loses when one decides not to be something, but to be someone." When did this transformation occur in your life and in your career?
Well, it's happened, in the last 15 or 20 years. It's you have clients that come back again a second and a third time, and they...
So it's a personal thing then?
It's a personal thing, and, they really do like my work. God, that's cool. And it's so that confidence comes.
I've witnessed that confidence in Spazio times, where
Yeah.
clients of yours have come in, and we were trying to convince them of something.
Mm-hmm.
And it was beginning to be a struggle, and there was some backup going on. And you came in, and just honestly, in a matter of moments, everything changed. They went with exactly what we'd been talking about, but they really believed in you. So I've seen it in the flesh.
Well, did I get a cut out of that?
Yeah. Susie got it.
Oh, okay, thank you.
So you told me there have been 3 phases to your career.
Yeah.
Making Austin more aware of contemporary architecture, downtown revitalization, and your philanthropic work. So talk to us about the latter.
I've been involved in, I give into charities and stuff, go to events and buy something and whatnot. But I had some time, and I got approached by a couple of different people. The first one was Turk Pipkin and his wife Christy with the Nobelty Project. And they had he's been building schools and rainwater collection things in Kenya and Ethiopia for years. And they're amazing people. They do so much stuff. And he just came in and said, we're doing this, trying to get some more money for this one particular town called Mahiga. And he also had a connection with Nike. And they had a new product where they grind up shoe soles old shoe soles to be a sport court kind of thing. And then an international competition on a cool way to use it. So he said, well, how long do we do a basketball court and have a big roof over it and collect water? I said, well, nobody plays basketball in Kenya. He said, Turk, always positive. That's no problem, we'll teach them basketball. So there's this great documentary you should see called Building Hope. And a book is just out. And
it's beautiful.
So we designed this, just a schematic design of this basketball court with this cool roof over it, sent it off to Nike. And damn if we didn't win the competition for him, and the prize was a couple $100,000 to build the thing, and so it got built.
Bravo.
So,
Yeah.
we worked with Architects for Humanity. It won the local Architect AA award. It won state, and it's now national. But the coolest thing about winning this award for this thing is all the other architects in the country appreciate that it doesn't have to be a $500 million building or a $5 million house. This is a roof on a sport court in Kenya, and it's maybe going to win the highest award that architects can get in this country.
It's very cool.
Yeah.
So now we're going to open the room up for questions, for maybe 3 or 4 questions from the audience. Anybody have a question?
Where else do you look for inspiration to keep your work fresh?
Well, architects have an eye that just it never shuts, kind of, I think. You know, I'm looking at this glass right here, and there's something kind of cool about it. It feels good. I touch it. There's art on the wall. It's from the most unspecific places you see something, you know. I read, I go to movies, I go to museums, I travel as much as I can still. And when you're traveling, you were asking me the other day, oh, you mean you want to go see the Guggenheim in Bilbao or something? Yeah, I said, yeah, that's important to see it. But and when I come back, I saw the Guggenheim, but what really sticks with me is not seeing it was the experience of walking up to it and the scale of things and the puppy dog, it's all flowered, and you know, how people interact. It's not the building, it's the context that everything is in when you come back. Travel is the most inspiring thing of anything, because you kind of got to keep yourself alert and fresh, or, you know, because the stimulus is always there. But there's still stimulus. Every time I drive down 6th Street, I'm stimulated in some way. No, that came out wrong. No, I didn't mean it that way at all. I have my headlights on all the time and do all that stuff. No, but when you travel to a foreign place, it's a little different. The edge, it's, you know, kind of in the back of your neck, is always stimulating.
What do you think about beauty in your work?
Again, you know, one of these cliches, form follows function, but it really does. And the function, though, can stimulate and make it beautiful. So I really appreciate that.
And terrain affects your design.
You know, climate is incredibly important in design. You know, that's why all these stupid Mediterranean and Gothic and houses and stuff coming down to Texas, so inappropriate for this climate. The weather, the topography, the sun, they stimulate and form good architecture. You know, those pitched roofs like this that came out of the north, well, that's because to get the snow off. I mean, it doesn't snow here very much, you know. You know, the low sweeping roofs, or, you know, you're dealing with, it's incredibly important. It's stimulating. It makes for good design. To not think about it makes for really bad design. I mean, really bad design.
Okay, the last part of our show. I'm going to ask you these questions, and I don't want you to think about it. I just want you to answer it. Okay?
Okay.
How does good design arise?
Naturally.
Are you conscious of design right now?
Always.
What do you value most in friends?
Honesty.
The quality you most like in a man?
Loyalty.
The quality you most like in a woman?
I think I better pass on that one. I don't know.
Where's good design?
It can be anywhere.
When is happiness?
That first moment of a design project is pretty damn good. That instant that kapow.
Yeah. What's your favorite shape?
Hourglass.
Okay. Good answer, actually.
It's, you know, I don't mean this in any way. It's just a.
What's your favorite word?
Enjoy.
What are we all supposed to be doing to help design?
Appreciate and encourage it.
What is your most dominant characteristic?
Procrastination. Unfortunately.
What natural gift would you like to possess?
Language.
And the last question.
Many languages.
And the last question, what's next?
Oh, man. Aren't we going international with this show?
That's it.
That was fun.
Good, yeah.
Thank you for having me. Really appreciate it.